Hello and welcome to the Too Deep Podcast. I am your host, Adonis Barrera, and I'm joined as always by the lovely and sensational, talented and beautiful Iana Giselle.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing pretty well, Iana. As for those of you on YouTube land, you can clearly see a stark contrast to what we've been doing.
Yes.
So if you want to see with the new look, make sure to hop over to our YouTube page. It's under my name, Adonis Barrera, and you'll see the playlist of the 2D podcast.
Yes.
What do you think about it? I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah. It's definitely different, and we are a lot closer. So,
yeah.
Hello. Welcome to our conversation with you.
It feels like it's a little more intimate this time.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah. And I'm like right in front of the camera.
So no hiding. Let's go. What's it called? I do want to speak on, I want to jump straight in, right?
Okay.
In this podcast, this episode, we're going to be talking about not lying to ourselves, because you see it too often where people are miserable with their lives because they're not being truthful with themselves.
Right.
I've always had the issue of lying to my teachers, of lying to my parents, of lying to my church members, because I wanted to be seen in a certain light. Right. And not that I was doing crazy stuff on the side, or anything like that. But it'd be like little white lies. Like, at church, I'd be like, yeah, I prayed so much. But when I do pray, I mean it. I was talking to God because I know how serious that is. But then when I was at home, I hardly did it. If my teachers were asking me, how's that project doing? How's that paper coming along? It's like, it's going great. Haven't even started it. Right. And it wouldn't be, I'm missing out on opportunities because I already know those people, if I told them the truth, they would have came to me with ways to help me. But because I shut them down by lying to them,
right,
I was hurting myself. And I was becoming more and more miserable because even though I had a smile on my face, I didn't have a gun on my waist.
Right.
So
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, so like what I mean is, like, even though I had a smile on my face, I felt guilty.
Yes.
And every time I said that, I didn't want to, but I wanted to keep up an image that was only hurting me. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way, Iana.
Oh, of course.
But if you could speak on that, whatever comes to your mind, whatever perspective you want to spin on it, let us know.
I love this topic, first and foremost, just because my 75-day challenge is all about like self-awareness, self-love, being consistent, all that stuff. And I'm grateful to like have the self-awareness, but with this specific topic of stop lying to yourself, I really had to like face myself. And it is like a time of like growth and like healing, but at the same time it's like, who is Iana?
Right.
Do I love myself? What does my authentic life really look like? Excuse me?
You're good.
And you can't live an authentic life without being true to yourself and really taking the steps to, because if you worked out that day, if you drank water that day, if you were faced with a trial and you carried yourself to the standard that you should be, or if you let your emotions get the best of you and you just laid it all out,
Right.
And so from my perspective, I think I'm guilty of feeling the shame that comes with my living up to my own expectations of like, these are all the standards that I have. Am I even coming to work on time? Am I even holding myself to the like role model standard? Am I being respectful and everything like that? Or am I, like I said, letting the emotions get the best of me?
Right.
And every single day when I look back, I'm like, okay, today was great. I didn't let my emotion. I controlled my emotions. I actually worked out to relieve some stress. I did breathing techniques and I filled my cup up. I was nice to everybody. Okay, cool. Like I did what I needed to do today.
Right.
And then like and then I get exhausted. Like being fully transparent, I get exhausted after like a full day of like controlling myself.
Right.
And it's because I haven't built up that tolerance of this is me accepting that I want to be that person, you know? And it's one thing to have like all these types of standards for other people and for myself. It's another thing to live those standards. And then it's another thing to learn to give yourself grace along the learning process.
Right.
But when are you done with your training period?
But here, let me ask you something though. Because the way you're speaking on lying to yourself is keeping, what I'm hearing from you is that you have to be almost giving it everything every day, right? Is that really being truthful to yourself though? Like, what if you didn't give? What if you only had 60% to give today because yesterday you gave 120, right?
Exactly.
Or 140 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, is it lying to yourself that you did give your maximum, but you failed because you were just so tired from the day before?
Oh,
Is it really lying to yourself that, you know, you gave it your best, but of course you only had so much stamina throughout the day that you've only did so much, and you feel like all your smaller failures are adding up more than your smaller successes of the day?
I love that.
So, the reason I'm saying that is because the way you made it sound was that if you're not doing everything in your power to do your best, you're all automatically lying to yourself. And I want to catch people that think that way too, because there's a lot of people that, like, if you're on this journey of weight loss, for example, and you had like a tough day at work and you come back and you're like, I want to go, but I'm just too tired. Is that person lying to themselves about wanting to get healthy and putting in effort just because they were that tired from work? Like, honestly, like not an excuse, but like literally it was like that draining. I mean, sometimes in those instances you want to go to the gym or go run or whatever to relieve some stress. But let's just say their legs are dead. They've been running around, maybe running an event or something.
Right.
Are they lying to themselves because they didn't go to the gym or they didn't work out after work, even though they said that health is important?
Right. And I don't think they're lying to themselves. I think the best way that I just heard someone talk about it.
Yeah.
She's the co-founder of Good America. She was on Jay Shetty's podcast, but I completely forgot her name. I'm so sorry. And basically she said, and she founded Good America. Good American, like jeans or denim or something like that. And so she knows what it takes to be a leader. She knows what it takes she has 4 kids and she's like, she built this empire of like all these businesses and stuff. And the way that she described it was a third of the time is going to be that happy, joyful, go-getting, like feeling that you're going to have. The other third of the time is going to be you like at your complete worst. Like it's going to be hard. It's going to be devastating. And then the other third is you just like going at it, and it's not like up or and it's not down.
Right.
But if it wasn't like that momentum of like ups and downs, it would be stagnant. And as a leader for like an entrepreneurship, for any business or anything like that, you don't want it to be stagnant.
Right.
Because then you're not growing.
Exactly.
Then you're not moving. You're like, you're not trying.
Exactly.
Like there's nothing. So you have to take the good with the bad, and you have to understand that even when it's bad or even when it's hard, it's still something better than nothing. you
Mm,
know? And I was like,
exactly.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
So like, even if I did have like that 100% day and then the next day I didn't have it in me,
Yeah.
I can be on a low vibration mode,
Mm,
but not feel down and depressed and like rude or anything, disrespectful or anything like that.
right.
But it's the controlling myself that's like, okay, we're recuperating right now so that come Wednesday, we're ready to go back at it. Until you can build up that momentum of like, it's no longer effort, it's second nature. Like, I do feel radiant and I do feel like giving this energy to other people.
Right.
And then balancing that act of effort and energy and like emphasis in your life, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I was saying that is because on the flip side, there are the people that say that their goal is health, that their
Mhm.
goal is, I want to become a healthier person. I want to lose a bunch of pounds and just become stronger overall.
Mhm.
Right. But they always say, like, I'm going to, I'm going to, I'm going to. But when it comes time to actually do it,
Mhm.
it falls flat. And why is that? It's I honestly and genuinely believe it is because at that point you really are lying to yourself. Because if you want something that bad and it's something that you know you want to do for a fact, it's going to be pretty tough for anything to stop you. For
Mhm.
example, if I am dog tired
Mhm.
but all week I've been craving a Cinnabon, you better believe that even if I'm dog tired and I'm still a little hungry, I'm going after that Cinnabon. Like, nothing will stop me to
Mhm.
go get it because I can see it. I can taste it.
Mhm.
All that's left is to have it in my hands,
Mhm.
right? So then it's like, I've been telling you, Iana, the truth that I've been craving a Cinnabon that whole week because you
Right.
see me going to get it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, he wasn't just like whatever, he
Mhm.
wasn't just trying to make conversation.
Yeah.
He was honest about that.
Mhm.
But if, let's say, we're by the mall and it's right there and we haven't eaten, and you ask me, hey, Donis, you want that Cinnabon? Like, you've been talking about it this whole week.
Mhm.
And then I come around and say, nah, I'm good. I'm good. You'll
Mhm.
be like, what the heck? You've been hyping it up this whole week and you
Yeah.
haven't, it's right there, right for the taking,
Mhm.
and you don't want to take it.
Right.
And it's because it's like, yo, why are you lying to yourself? I honestly, like, I get it. Sometimes when you say it to people, you say it so they either stop asking you questions, like, hey, what are you doing for school? Oh, I'm like doing general studies, but I'm going to get a degree and I'm going to, find a well-paying job,
Mhm.
but then you don't show up to classes.
Mhm.
Then you don't do the assigned work. You don't put an effort to go ab- above just the class notes to understand this information.
Mhm.
And it's like, I feel like people, and I'm saying this because I really want to help you, the listener, because I've been there. I've been there where I've been lying to myself
Mhm.
on the things that I wanted because I wanted to still feel good. I still wanted to feel accepted.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, how, Iana, can we get out of that to start living in our truth rather than just to, like, say whatever it is to make other people like us, to make sure that their standards for us is still met.
I think the first thing that I would say, the biggest thing that I would say is like being honest with yourself in the sense of like, okay, stop looking at your life as like a delusion. Like, are you really about that life of um managing your money or
Mm,
working out? whatever that looks like for you, whether it's going on 15-minute walks every single day or actually like lifting weights or going swimming or taking a class. And how often are you doing that? Like, or is it parking further away from your job and taking the stairs instead of the elevator?
Right.
That is another level.
Yeah.
That is physical activity. Exercise is when you're intentional about getting your heart rate up. Physical activity is more of like, I'm moving my body right now and I can park further. Wherever you are, there's no shame in it, but accept where you are. That is the first part of not lying to yourself.
Right.
Because then once you fully like shed light on where you are, then you know where to take your next step.
Right.
But you can't do that if you keep saying like, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to go to church. I'm going to church. I'm reading my Bible. Okay, the last time you read your Bible was like 2 weeks ago. Are you really reading your Bible or what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, really take a look and see. And the next part of it is don't do every single dimension of wellness all at once. In the sense of, is your goal for this quarter your spiritual development? Or is it your physical development or wellness? Or is it finances? Like, focus on one. Until you master that, then you can continue to keep building. But until then, like, let's get it together in the sense of just what is your main goal for this period and this chapter and this season of your life.
Exactly.
So to recap real quick, the first step is be honest with yourself. Where are you on the map? Then you can shed light on where you really are and what your next step is.
So that means stop, think about what you actually want. Like, you need to take a break from reacting about what everyone else is saying, like what everyone else is asking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And truth be told, they really don't care that much, like what you're doing when you're alone. They're just like making conversation to make conversation.
Yes.
You have to stop reacting, like Kiana's saying, to what they're saying and take the time to stop and look to see where you are and what you actually want.
Yeah. And then 2, do one step at a time.
Yeah.
So figure out your goal for this season. I'm just going to say it that way.
Yeah.
Right now we're in the winter season. Is it really realistic for me to say I'm going to go on 15-minute walks outside before work in the morning when it's still dark? Yeah. No, that is not realistic. So what I'm doing is my goal for this quarter 4, is to connect on a deeper level with God and with myself. What does that look like? Either watching mass, watching a sermon, doing a Bible study, reading the Bible by myself, listening to praise music, or worshiping God by moving my body in the way that God has told me to move my body, meaning park further and take the stairs, or being grateful that like I can still move my arms in the way that I can. I have these legs to hold me up and I'm not like physically injured or anything like that. I don't need any crutches or anything like that. I can dance and I can move my hips and my head or whatever. So that's what that looks like right now, because there's so many different aspects of me being able to praise God in the way that I walk in my faith. But if I'm being fully honest, I still haven't gone to church in a while, like an actual physical church. So that's me being fully transparent, but that's where I am right now. It doesn't mean that I'm not connecting on listening to Father Schmidt's like podcasts and mass or whatever. Like I'm still doing like my faith in the way that God is calling me to come closer to him. And I'm still being obedient to his call. But that's just what my season looks like. Whether you judge me or not, this is me being fully transparent because I know where I am. I know what my next step is. I know what my focus is. And honestly, that's where I'm at. So I don't have any further steps for you besides continue until he tells me to move again. Until he
Exactly.
tells me, okay, you, even if I haven't mastered it, at least it's a step further than where I was last season, last chapter, last quarter.
Right.
So when we are moving towards January, I'm definitely going to have to get to continue to work on my spiritual development, but also be open to hearing if God wants me to focus on my finances or focus on my physical health or focus on what. But I'm ready to receive answers when I ask. So
Beautiful. Yeah. Taking it one step at a time, realizing where you are
mm-hmm.
to move in the directions that you want to move. And then, and only then, can you take that step towards that one specific goal for that specific season. How long is that season? Is it just a quarter? Is it just 3 months? Or is it maybe just 2 weeks or 2 days?
Mm-hmm.
Do it until, do what? Like if your goal is to just start going to the gym and make that a habit, if it takes you a week just to start going to the gym and make it a habit, then that's it. That's the season.
What it is.
Yeah, because then you'll know that next week you'll just go without even thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that's where I'm at with my friends now. Because I go with 2 of my friends.
You have accountability partners.
It's so much easier. Like it's so hard not to go. I have to have a really good excuse to tell them if I don't want to go or whatever, you know. But I'm really enjoying the process.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that season is over of trying to get myself to get there, not lying to myself anymore, of wanting to be healthy, of wanting to look better in a t-shirt, you know what I mean? And just like wanting to feel good about myself, right? Not feel like...
You touched on it. That's what I was about to tell you. The other layer of this whole like stop lying to yourself is like you have to develop that layer of confidence along the way. Like you can't wait until you feel confident and ready to go and then go to the gym.
Yeah.
No, that's where you're getting out of your comfort zone, and you're getting out of your comfort zone because you are growing right now. So again, give yourself that grace and make it an enjoyable process because you already know it's going to be hard. So what would make it fun?
Exactly.
Oh, a dance class. Oh, working out with my best friends, or working out and listening to like my favorite like playlist or something like that. Yes. Like make it enjoyable and then give yourself those like small rewards or whatever so that you can want to continue to come back even when it's hard.
Even when it's hard. Like if it's studying, like making your favorite drink. I'm not saying buy it because then you'd have to be paying a lot of money every time you want to study.
Right.
But like making your favorite coffee in the special way that you like it, and make that your reward while you study.
Right.
Like play your favorite music, whether it be your favorite podcast or some lo-fi music or whatever, and just have a really good time with it. You have to find ways to make it enjoyable. That's the way that you start to want to do something that you know is going to improve your life. But at first glance, it doesn't look that attractive. At first glance, it doesn't look that much fun. Make it fun. What are the things that you can do to make it attractive, to make you want to go back to it? Yeah.
Love it.
Let's go. Yeah. This week is going to be a shorter podcast just because we have a lot going on, and being fully transparent, you know, we've had some issues, like technical issues and others, but we're back here. We're back at it. And, you know, part of the process is just continuing when times get hard. You know, it's not always going to be smooth sailing. And there's going to be times where it becomes frustrating to do almost, just because of, trying to make it better, trying to make it work. But sometimes you don't see how it's getting better. Mm-hmm. You just have to have faith in the process that you are going to start enjoying it, that you are going to start becoming better at talking, at looking at the camera, at being comfortable in front of a microphone and camera. It's just part of the process. And I'm glad that you guys are seeing all these episodes, even the ones that we don't consider are very good in me and Iana's opinion. But we're happy that you're able to see all that, because you know too that, if they can do it, I can easily do it. And if we do blow up one day, like, these are the guys that blew up, I can do it too. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's why we're doing this, because we feel like so long as you enjoy the process, not thinking about the result, enjoying the process, that's when you'll start to tell yourself the truth. Yeah, let's go. So you can follow us on our 2 Deep Podcast on Instagram, which is the 2 Deep Pod. That's TOODEEPPOD. You can follow us on Facebook, 2 Deep Podcast. Just add the CAST to that. YouTube page under my name, Adonis Barrera. Playlist there for the 2 Deep Podcast. You can follow me on my Instagram, same as the YouTube, and Iana
at iana.giselle.
Let's go. And then we will see you next week.
Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.